3 straight. Yes, Christopher Bell has won 3 straight races. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joseph Igo, and wow, wow, wow. Christopher Bell has done something today that has not been done since the 2021 Cup Series season. That is winning 3 straight races as he won this afternoon in Phoenix in a not an overtime restart, but pretty much overtime restart, edging out Denny Hamlin there at the line, getting a good shove there from Kyle Larson as well. Pretty crazy, or I don't want to say crazy race, but yeah, I mean, congrats, Christopher Bell. Super impressive. I mean, we kind of expected that he would be in the mix and competitive today, and sure enough, he was. I did not predict that he would win today, but it became pretty evident pretty quickly that he was going to be in the mix after the first couple restarts early in that race, because we had a couple early restarts, and from then on he was no shorter than the top 3 or 4, and inevitably got his way to the front, and he had some adversity, but it didn't matter. Christopher Bell certainly was the best car throughout today and gets his 3rd win of the season. So incredible stuff for Christopher Bell. It is mind-blowing how good he has been the past couple weeks. And this could have been a 4th straight win had the Daytona 500 gone a little bit better for Christopher Bell, but and I think the scary thing for the field is that I would go as far to say he's the favorite the next 2 weeks. That is as far as I would go, and I think it's pretty. I don't want to say it's likely, but I think given how last year's Phoenix race in the fall, or last year's Vegas race in the fall played out, I'm going to be picking him to win his 4th consecutive race next weekend, which I don't even know when the last time that happened, but I do know the last time 3 consecutive happened was Kyle Larson in 2020 or 2021, and he did it twice that season. So, and he went on to win the title that year. I obviously picked Christopher Bell to win the title and to win over at least 5, if not more, Cup races, and we are very much on pace to do that. So crazy, crazy stuff. I can't believe it, but I guess let's just get on into the, chronological order of how this race played out. I was actually in attendance. I was there as a fan, not covering it for media, but early on in this race, Catherine Legg, obviously first woman since Danica had a race in the Cup Series. She wrecks on, I believe it was like lap 4. She gets it fixed up, stays in the race. They restart again, and then Cole Custer, and I believe somebody else was in that mix, but Cole Custer was the one that I know for sure wrecked on that next wreck. And then you get that next restart when Logano gets that restart penalty, which was pretty crazy. And because like I said, I was watching it at the track, so I don't know exactly what was being said, but it looked very close, and I'm not so sure exactly. It's hard for me to comment on that just because I was at the track, but it looked very close as far as I could tell. And then a stage 1 kind of went on. It appeared as though Cindric, Haley, and Suarez, and even Ross Chastain were having success on the option tire. It looked like they were the first ones to go to that. I mentioned in my preview video for Phoenix that I thought Daniel Suarez was going to be a potential dark horse because of the option tire and how good he ran at Richmond with the option tire. So he ran well, but this is how Daniel Suarez's day went. He was at the back, puts on the option tires, goes right to the front, and then I don't remember exactly what happened. I don't remember if this was before or after he gets in that second wreck. He ends up in the back again, and let's just take a look here and see. Did he finish? Yeah, he finished running. So he gets in a wreck later with Catherine Legg again on the back straightaway. But as far as the thing says, it did not take him out of the day. So very chaotic day for Daniel Suarez, who I thought could potentially be in the mix. Did get himself in the mix, but it's not about getting in the mix. It's about staying in the mix, and he was not able to do that. So sucks for him. William Byron wins stage 1. Very dominant stage one. This was the thing. This was the story throughout the whole day. Passing. This was typical Phoenix. It was extremely hard to pass if you did not have on a option tire that was gonna propel you to the front. All your work had to be made on restarts, and that was that. So stage two gets underway, and Carson Hosfar got in a wreck. I know somebody else was in that wreck, but I'm forgetting who that was. Um, Impressive recovery by Joey Logano there from that penalty. He ends up coming back and ends up back in the lead in stage two, which was pretty nuts. And then uh, he ends up getting passed by, I believe, Christopher Bell for the stage win there in the second stage. And at this point, it was very clear that the top three cars on the day were Joey Logano, Christopher Bell, and William Byron. And you could even, at this point, you could also even maybe throw Tyler Reddick in the mix. Reddick, who inevitably later gets a penalty, which sends him to the back and ruins his day. But there was a point in this race where Tyler Reddick looked to be potentially getting involved for the lead, and definitely was in line for a top five had things not gone awry with the pit road penalty on that same pit stop. I think this ends up even being in like stage three when Reddick gets that penalty. Ty Dillon also got a penalty there. Ty Dillon was also running really well. I believe was on the option tire in stage three. Ends up, I have it in my notes, he was running fourth at the time, at least when I took the notes down, which was very impressive for the 10 car. Option tire, very interesting with the option tire. I thought, like I said, I was not a fan of the option tire coming into this race, and I would still advise NASCAR not to go back to the option tire, even though you have Denny Hamlin, who is now advocating for it. Don't do it. It's just not. I could go on, and we'll probably go on in another separate video about it, but I do not want the option tire back. Ryan Blaney, who I thought was going to be a very competitive car today, and was for a lot of the race, had a power steering issue and inevitably had an engine blow towards the end of the race in stage three. Tough break for him as he was running, I believe, fifth or sixth at the time of blowing that engine, which, tough for Ryan Blaney. That ends his streak of 7 top fives at Phoenix. He ends up coming home in 28th. So tough break there for Ryan Blaney. Really his first really, I guess it wasn't a bad run for him because he was running well, but probably your first really bad finish for Ryan Blaney on the season. So yeah, tough break for him. And then really from that, you end up with a restart with the 20, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, and Ross Chastain up at the front of the field. And we had several different restarts towards the end of this race, but this thing ended up being decided between Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Larson. So great finishes for all three of those, but man, I thought on that last restart, especially on about halfway through that final lap, I thought Denny Hamlin was going to be able to get him, and inevitably was not able to get there as they're coming around that final turn. Bell sends Hamlin high, I believe even making contact with the wall, and ends up edging out the 11 and the 5 at the line. Almost kind of reminiscent to yesterday in the Xfinity with, the winner slamming. Well, it's also funny. He wasn't. No, Almirola was not running the 20 car, but the winner ends up running the second place into the wall there on the final lap there. So pretty crazy stuff. So as far as Phoenix standards are concerned, I mean, it was better than Phoenix, I guess. But at the end of the day, I still do not want to see the option tire return, especially not in the championship race. But like Denny Hamlin said, maybe bringing the option tire to short tracks. Do not want to see that whatsoever. You just got to get the tire right at the short tracks and go from there, because it just complicates things too much, and I just don't feel like it adds much to really anything. So, with that being said, very, very, very big congrats to Christopher Bell winning his third consecutive race. Ne- I think next week he has a very good shot at winning his fourth consecutive. So huge stuff for him. And with that being said, that'll be it. So thank y'all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my content this week with some more recapping of Phoenix and some preview, and I guess previewing next week heading into Vegas. So thank y'all so much for watching. Take care. God bless.